ago I'd never heard weird noises in the middle of the night before. I'd never worried about a single helium balloon shifting places on its own. Now I can't get either of those things out of my mind. Every evening I catch myself looking up at the ceiling waiting to hear that faint creak or scrape. I feel uneasy whenever I glanced at the attic door in the hallway, and it all began because of a simple balloon. I'm 33 years old. My wife and I rented this old two-story house because it had enough space and the rent was cheap. The building has narrow driveway on the side, chipped paint on the front porch, and some old shingles on the roof that look like they've seen better days. Inside, the hardwood floors squeak in random spots and a few door frames are warped from age. There's also a small door in the hallway that leads to the attic. It's a pull-down ladder type. Until last week I never felt curious about it. It's cramped, dusty, and I never had any reason to go up there. I figured we'd store a few holiday decorations in that space eventually, but I kept putting it off. We just moved in and we have a lot of other boxes to unpack. My wife is usually the organized one. She makes sure we handle repairs right away and keep our stuff in order, but she also respects that I hate crawling around in old attics. She didn't push me to explore. We both left that part of the house alone. We set up our bedroom in the largest room downstairs, because the master bedroom upstairs has a weird smell. It's not rotting or anything like that, just a stale odor that I can't quite place. It might be from old wallpaper, glue, or mildew. Whatever it is, we decided we liked the downstairs bedroom better, so we sleep there. We had a small celebratory dinner the weekend after we moved in. We invited my parents over to check out the place. My wife bought a small helium balloon that said congrats on it. We tied it to the back of a chair in the dining room. It was just a fun little touch for the dinner. A few days later, after my parents had gone home and we cleaned up, I noticed that balloon was still floating near the ceiling. My wife joked about how helium balloons always seem to last longer than we expected. She ended up removing the ribbon and letting it drift around in the hallway. She thought it was funny to watch it bump against the ceiling whenever we walked by. That balloon became a sort of random decoration in the corridor. I'd see it near the bathroom door sometimes, then it would drift toward our bedroom door later. We don't have any ceiling fans in that area and the windows stay closed because the nights get chilly, but helium balloons move around right. Even the slightest changes in air pressure can nudge them along. I didn't think much of it. Then came the first odd event. I woke up early on a Monday. I got ready for work, walked into the hallway and noticed the balloon was missing. I checked around the living room and kitchen. Nothing. It wasn't in our bedroom or the downstairs closet. I shrugged and figured the balloon might have deflated somewhere, maybe got stuck under a table. I didn't have time to keep searching, so I left for work that evening. When I got home I was in a rush to get dinner started. I didn't even remember the balloon until later. I was taking some stuff upstairs to put in the spare bedroom. When I got up there I saw that attic door in the hallway. I paused. Something felt off, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Then as I started walking away I noticed something floating in the attic. Small overhead opening. I had never opened that hatch, but I could see a faint shape of something round near the top of the pull-down stairs. I stood there staring. My heart started beating a little faster. I've never been a superstitious person, but it made no sense for a helium balloon to find its way up there. I grabbed a flashlight from the spare bedroom, pulled the attic door down and slowly climbed the foldable ladder. Sure enough, in the center of the dusty dark space that balloon was hovering. The attic smelled musty like old cardboard. I saw a few spiderwebs in the corners. The wooden beams were uneven. I had to crouch to avoid hitting my head. The floor up there is just thin plywood laid over the joists. There was no wind, no open window. The balloon was still inflated, drifting in the center of the room. I looked around. The only source of light came from the small bulb I switched on near the entrance. There's no other exit, no open vents, nothing. I stood there for at least a minute, confused. I finally reached out and grabbed the balloon string. My heart thumped in my chest. I checked if maybe my wife had moved it up there. For some reason it seemed like a bizarre joke, but I couldn't think of anything else. I gently brought the balloon back down into the hallway and called for my wife. She was in the kitchen putting away groceries. I asked her if she had gone up to the attic. She gave me a blank